In Balloons Tower Defense 6, there's an achievement where you need to complete an entire game of CHIMPS using just 2 towers. And today we're going to be doing this with the Super Brittle and the Carpet of Spikes. Sorry for my raspy voice, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. Now it's very important that we put this ice monkey specifically top rightmost of this little triangle. Not down here, not over here, but here specifically. Enhance 3 so that we can fire fast enough so that we can defend this spot on cubism. I could have picked the obvious choice by going on resort, but now we're going to try do this on another map which can work with an ice monkey. In fact, a lot of maps can actually start with an ice monkey nowadays because the ice monkey is cheaper and enhanced freeze is cheaper. Maybe it's just me. And the presence of the ice monkey is not going to do my cold any good. In fact, it may even make it worse. So we need you at the end of the map so that when we lay out our carpets of spikes, then this will be able to take care of the ceramics, which nowadays it is an excellent tower in doing so. So I'm going to try and lay off from getting permafrost for as long as possible because I do want to start getting our spike factory down so that we can eventually get to white hot spikes as soon as possible, but we might even get pierce capped here. No, not at all, but we do have these yellow balloons to contest against. And yeah, we're going to need permafrost specifically for this round here. So I'm going to wait for the first one to be frozen, then use permafrost. Yeah, that's necessary to make those yellow balloons slower, or by that point green balloons. And here we go, the spike factory in this bottom rightmost section of the map in which we can deploy a land tower down. Even clearing my throat doesn't really help me out that much. I've never really had a cold before in my life where I actually have a sore throat and it's affecting my voice. Like, I've had colds in the past that have slightly affected my voice, but not to this severity. The downside at the moment is that because we don't have white hot spikes, if there are any frozen balloons over these spike piles, and the spike piles just disappear. Not because they run out of time, like as you can see over here, but simply because they're trying to pop a frozen balloon, which it can't. Round 15, pink balloons all go down, and this lovely cute little seal here is confined to this triangle, but that's okay. We love our friends close by, just like how the ice monkey can only affect things close by. Well, so I can't look up on any sort of data from the Balloons Wiki, the encyclopedia website at the moment, because Cloud Flare is currently down. Yes, my cloud is not working. Cloud Flare is not working at the moment. Flare Balloons, would you please fix your freaking cloud? Go faster productions. We'll go cold snap as well, just so that we can pop lead balloons with both towers now. And the bonus damage that Super Brittle provides if the DDTs get to this point will be very good. And around 24, not a problem, even if we didn't get cold snap by this point. Our spike factory by default can pop camo balloons. Imagine if Ninja QE changed it so that the spike factory by default cannot pop camo balloons, but yet Spirit of the Forest Fawns on the track still can. Right, even faster production, and we're just going to chill for chill because we have the ice tower. Anyways, for a little bit, am I going to get ice shards of an embrittlement before Merv Shredder? I think that is going to be the case. And that's round 27. Now, to deal with the slow targets, it's like if these green balloons have been permafrosted. As if they are green balloons being permafrosted. They're a lead balloon, okay? Ah, my favorite balloon ever. The yellow balloon. And to top that off, regrow yellows. Because damage of them is not enough to be able to get rid of that yellow property of them. I know yellow balloons don't have any properties, but I feel like their property is they can just get to the exit far more readily than most other balloons can, in my experience. In my unbiased humble experience. I would say that the most difficult rounds in this entire scenario is going to be the 50s before we get Super Brittle, 95, 98, and that's it. Yeah, around 98, the super fortified ceramics can sometimes get past our Super Brittle here. And with the ZMGs on that round, there's just so many ceramics that just absolutely pierce caps our Super Brittle here. Or they just go fast enough so that they just dodge with Super Brittle altogether. Embrittlement, Deep Freeze, and now we're going to go to Moab Shredder. Yeah, we're going to get Moab Shredder, then Spike Storm, then Super Brittle, and then Carpet of Spikes. In that order. In that purchasing order. If anybody knows what it's like to have a cold and it does affect your voice, then I can empathize with you right about now. Like when you had it, not if you have it or not, but I don't know, maybe there's somebody out there that can share what I'm going through at the moment. Raspy voice, not being able to commentate properly. I do apologize. Don't worry, voice crack flare balloons can't scare you. Meanwhile, flare balloons having a voice crack. And that's around 39, so what damage can we do around 40? The combination of the bonus damage because of Moab Shredder alongside having a embrittlement means that this is going to go down really quickly. Just like that. Yeah, the Moab went down more quickly than the ceramics did. I feel the timing of the Spike Storm on certain rounds is going to make the difference between us being able to get through this middle game section and need to restart from round 6 again. I say again as in like other scenarios in which I've had multiple tries to try and get through the scenario, only to then realize that my Spike Storm ability is still on cooldown. Here we go, Spike Storm now active. That's the thing about a 2TC with a middle path tower, is that if you are reliant on your ability in order to get through the run, then at times you need to be very careful as to when you activate said ability, so that then you have it ready for when you next really need it. But then keep it in mind that you are not at all sabotaging your run by using it at a time in which, or sabotages the run because the round has ended too quickly, and you have a threat coming your way. Fortified ceramics, they just get held for a little bit more time while over here. Come on, please. Go down. Great staller. But then again, if I wanted an ice tower that stalls around, I'd just resort to middle path ice towers. Imagine if Absolute Zero works with Carpet Spikes. Not really, actually. I wouldn't even want to think about it. Especially like 98. What's going to deal anything against ceramics? Even though the Absolute Zero's damage has been boosted in Update 51, it's just not enough to really contribute towards a 2TC. Unless your other tower is doing pretty much the sheer majority of the popping like a Wizard Lord Phoenix. Okay, we're definitely going to need ourselves to use the Spike Storm's ability on this round. Mainly these ceramics, but then hopefully we'll be able to get through the rest of this without needing to worry. Yeah, this should be looking good here. Sometimes the ice shards are able to impact with zebra balloons because of non-zebra or white balloons nearby. Also, there will be times where we will be able to hit the Moab class balloons while they're up here. Again, a round in which we need to use said Spike Storm ability on. I don't really know when, and I don't want to jinx it by obviously not then having it when I next need it. Okay, this mob is in critical damage, which is good. We won't have any troubles on 51, I imagine. Okay, ceramics are really getting on my nerves here. I didn't want to have to use it, but I guess I'm going to have to. Also, apologize for the background noise. My dog has found something to bark at. And there goes the rest of the round there. Okay, will these rainbows get through our defenses here? I hope not. Come on, embrittlement and ice shards, do your magic. And the rest of this? Yeah. Oh, come off it. Really? A blue and a red balloon? Yeah, using Spike Storm, I hope that does it for me. There's still some red balloons back here, which gives me a little bit of respite here. But round 53. Okay. Hopefully, I do not need to use the ability on this round, but I may need to use it, so therefore I'm just going to use it prematurely. Just like that, and one. I'll activate it. Hopefully the second one gets... no. Good. I was worried that those spikes there would have damaged this enough to downscale it enough. 53 completed. Okay, 54. I'm going to use it on this round as well. Hopefully, this Moab here will be the last thing standing on the round. Oh, but then again, there's all of it still. Right, mid-round it is, and hopefully there's a red balloon. Oh, there's still this Moab. I'm still not having a lot of confidence here, but there's these two red balloons here. Thank you. Oh, around 55. I'm going to need to use the ability at some point. I hope that that is good enough, but there's still this last group of ceramics. Can I get through them all? Yes. And hope this last Moab is not a hindrance. And there goes the Moab there. Good. Rainbows. We're going to need to use the ability again. Hopefully there is a red balloon. Oh, yes, there's a red balloon there. Disturb around it as much as possible. Good. Okay, 57. What can we do here? Last thing there, but there's still these fast rainbows that we need to get through. Zebras, stop it. And red balloon, please last for as long as possible. It's always about trying to ensure that you can get your ability back when you really need it. Okay, I'm going to use it then and there. Is that all of the Moabs throughout the... No, there's another one, isn't there? Is there any more? Yeah, there's another one there. 5 in total, or 6? And actually, we can buy Super Brittle now, so we don't have to worry. Yes! Okay, the last thing we need to purchase is Carpet of Spikes, and then we are there. Again, apologies about the croaky voice. Okay, Super Brittle is now doing the magic. Okay, let's have a look over what was improved with the Super Brittle in Update 51. Attack cooldown reduction has been reduced. Sorry, attack cooldown reduction. Attack cooldown has been reduced from 1.8 seconds to 1.2 seconds. The default damage has been increased from 1 to 5, and now does 5 bonus damage to ceramic balloons. Ice shards have been doubled in damage. And obviously, if you have the 510, which is the fast enhanced freeze, sorry, then your attack speed has been reduced from 1.35 seconds to 0.9. So in 9 seconds, we'll be able to dish out 10 lots of attacks. Can we whittle down this bit? Well, that answers that question then. And the Super Brittle is a normal damage type tower. And some of them are slower because they can be hit by the Super Brittle while they're over here. Yeah, some of them are not impacted by the Super Brittle, but that's absolutely fine. We're fine. I'm completely fine. Except my voice, that's not fine. Okay, how do we fare against these supers? It's a lot of ceramics I was meant to say. I did try to say super ceramics. Nah. Round 63 is now a breeze for the Super Brittle. What the bloody hell was that? Oh, I think it's the lead balloons, honestly. I think it's the lead balloons that actually directed the attention of the Super Brittle there. So I think when we pop this second group of ceramics, we're going to use the ability in the hopes of being able to divert some attention away. There we go. That's just what we wanted. That is just what the doctor ordered. Yeah. Listen, Cold, but one thing I don't want you to affect is my voice. But yet, you've done just that. Yeah, the Super Brittle not behaving well in round 63 at that little bit there was really unexpected. I'm not doing this because I need to use it. I'm doing it to speed up the round. Although imagine if I did need it for this moment on round 66. That would be embarrassing. Like a real embarrassment. Like a kick to the throat sort of embarrassment. How many properties do you want on a ceramic balloon? All of them. Fortified, camo, regrow, the whole lot. Just put them all in. What are we to do round 68? do we use you? Of course we do. What are you talking about? Balloons take huge damage while frozen, while ice shards rip through ceramic balloons like paper. Direct damage to my vocal cords. This niche thing that it can sometimes hit a Merb class balloon and slow them down could be the difference between our success and failure of 98, being able to disperse some of the ZUMGs out. Or then again, they're probably slow enough where we can just permafrost them anyways when we're over at this point, because of how big and slow they are. To think back in update 42, the Super Brittle's attack speed was nearly doubled when it comes to the breaks that it has between attacking. So it used to be 2.16 seconds in update 41, but then was changed to 1.8 seconds in update 42. And then 51 Ninja Kiwi decided that the Super Brittle is still not powerful enough. So now it's just an absolute monster against ceramics. I wonder what other buffs Ninja Kiwi will give Ice Towers, that in update 52 we will be receiving the Ice Monkey Paragon. And from there I will definitely do that signature video that I do where when a new Paragon comes out, then I try and see if I can get every single Paragon to level 100 without any support from other players. And because we have the Banana Farmer Pro, then we can get to the point where we can start leveling up Geraldo even sooner by thinking that I can get the Banana Central and an Ultra Boost first, and then pair the Banana Farmer Pro when it has the Banana Intelligence Boreal, so that then I can just worry about leveling up Geraldo to level 20 and then getting his Paragon Power Totems down. And I hope in that scenario people understand that using Geraldo is a necessity and not just a means of making the run easier. Try and get a level 100 Paragon without using Geraldo on your own. I dare you. Because I know that people hate it when Balloons Tubers use Geraldo in a 2 megapots run or just in a run in general. Second use of Spike Storm. Not going to get through all of these Merb layers, but hey, guess what? It doesn't matter that we don't have the ability ready on round 76. Actually, would be a hindrance on round 76. On the weather forecast today for balloons, it's going to be a rather sudden chill for them once they get to the exit of this abstract art track. I feel though as time goes on, companies will rely more on AI art to cut costs, make even more money while having less costs in tow. And I do kind of fear the future of gaming in general, where the only really sort of talent that is widely projected is through indie games. Games which don't have a multi-million or multi-billion bank account where you can just dump your research and resources into the lack of human involvement in the creation of the game. But that to me just takes out the passion of making a game if you have zero involvement to it, where the only reason why you make a video game is to create money. I feel like anything with life, if it's just a means to an end to so that you can have your bread on the table or have gas and electric, then unfortunately for some of us it's just an absolute necessity where we have to have a job in which we don't like doing. Like for me, retail work, it's not something that I really enjoy, and it's solely down to the people side of it, the customer side of this sort of stuff. And people are a necessity in a retail store because, well, somebody's got to operate the till. But I know that one day when human technology just grows so far in advancement, and we can buy a copper spice now actually, but that was unrelated. I fear that one day people like myself will be replaced by robots. Robots that don't have as many costs to them aside from maintaining them, and actually you can effectively have a store open 24/7 because robots do not require medical care or robots don't require a salary. But maybe someday people will be stupid enough to invent AI where the AI will know that it's not being paid at all, so therefore it refuses to work. And where does that lead you to, dear silly humanity that decides to develop AI at such a stupid rate? That's right, back to where we began, with people. Like when people say that my voice is AI generated, it's like, that's such a soulless thing to say. Like I put a lot of hard work and effort into these videos, and people are just so dumbstruck by the idea that because one's voice sounds even remotely robotic, that you just fold to the AI card when it comes to your excuse to kind of belittle me, which is really annoying because I hate the use of AI when it comes to anything creative. It just shows that it's just a lack of morals or ethics when it comes to people nowadays. The only exception I would say is that if you have the physical inability to be able to create art on your own, where you have to, not by choice but by necessity, use an algorithm to be able to generate your art. But for those who are perfectly able to use your hands, to be able to use your eyes, to be able to use your motors in your muscles and stuff, just resorting to AI is just such a sloppy, messy, and lazy approach to creating media. I'd rather be called a robot because it still feels like I have some kind of physical presence than AI, which is just software and an automaton. Like I'm being compared to a command prompt needing to be given instructions by a user. No, but it's said that you shouldn't really let out your weaknesses as a person because then potential bullies will just exploit that. Well, I'm human like you at the end of the day, and I have the capabilities to project my emotions if I want to. Like those who say that you should just stick to talking about the content, well, guess what? I'm making the content. This is part of the content when it comes to a Flare Balloons video, okay? There goes round 89, able to deal with these ceramics. Luckily, they do not spawn any children out of them. DDTs, go and DIE. And going back to gaming companies just resorting to using AI stuff, it's not because of the fact that they're struggling with money, they're doing it just to be even more greedy. Like we've had loot boxes, we've had like all these different microtransactions that we can do nowadays on games, in which when you put all of the costs of the microtransactions together, it's far more expensive than the actual base game itself. I shouldn't be exerting my vocal cords this much. And if they go down here, I think the BFBs did impact the spikes over here, which is good. DDTs, not a problem. And on 98, we do want the BFBs to not be all popped at once. Like with the ZMGs, we don't want all popped at once, because it's just going to create far too much pierce for us to try and counteract with both our spikes and the Super Brittle itself. Yeah, there's a lot of balloons on this round, but nothing that we can't handle. Nothing that we can't handle. Okay, the ZMGs are getting very far into the map, now BFBs. Can we get through 94? Of course we can. We've only got 2 BFBs left of the round. 95. We don't need to use the ability at all throughout the entire round here. And we will see to it that these DDTs will be decimated either by our spikes or by the sheer cold in which we can produce by super brittling them. And then they take even more damage from the spikes while being embrittled. Or super embrittled, whatever the status name is, which comes from the Super Brittle itself. Okay, the fortified targets have been eradicated, so the only ones which we've got a fear left when it comes to the fortified variants are 98. 99 is not going to be a problem whatsoever. Fortified DTs are a joke when it comes to this combination here. Something which says, I don't care that you're fortified, you're going to take extra damage anyways to circumvent those, that increase in HP. I feel like we need a pet soon for the Spike Factory, because one of the few towers left now that doesn't have a pet. Speaking of Cloudflare going down, the Pokemon Center in the UK released a £430 Altaria plushie, like a life-size from the Pokedex Altaria plushie, which is a dragon Pokemon which has clouds as wings. So I looked at that and then saw that Cloudflare was down. I was like, did you really release it knowing that Cloudflare's gone down that day? I'm sure it wasn't, but it was just coincidence. Okay, this is the round in which it's going to halt us if we don't succeed the first time. Oh gosh, we need these fortified targets to go down that bit sooner, please. 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 Thank you. That should do it. Okay, just 3 ZMGs left. This is now the bigger problem at hand here. Can we get through this? Maybe I should have used the spikes on mobility. I thought I just used it, but maybe I tried to use it while the thing was still active there. Okay, maybe I need to use it. I'm going to use it now, actually. Get 2 spin lock. Oh my goodness sakes, I somehow managed that. First time going through 98. That's brilliant. Oh, Christ. That was a bit of a fluke, that one was, and I'm glad it's around 100 because I can't really use my vocal cords for that much longer. Bad, go down, please. Thank you very much. You didn't even get to the first triangle properly, and the bad just went down like that. 1.6 million pops with the Spike Factory, and over 400,000 with the Super Brittle. So in that run, bloody hell, we got our stats resetted there. Don't know what that... I wonder if it's because of the Super Brittle, but I just don't know. Oh, towers placed down 0. So yeah, at some point throughout the round, our statistics reset. So therefore it did that. I'm pretty sure I spent more than 74 grand. I think that's just because of the Super Brittle and the Carpet Spikes upgrades put together, now that I think about it. So there we go, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching, and this has been my second time doing this 2TC. I wanted to see if it was possible on Cubism, and then I wanted to do it for a video. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Please let me know what you thought of the video down in the comment sections below. And have fun with Vortex while you are still able to do so with no military involved. And if you are so kind and I could afford some Strepsils for my throat. By the way, I don't need the money to buy the Strepsils. I am comfortable with my financial situation at the moment. Actually, no, content is the word, not comfortable. Comfortable means I've got lots of spare cash to spare. But if you are ever in the store and you would like to use a creator support code to help a content creator out, then please use mine. Is Flare Balloons. It's literally the name of a channel. You can't go wrong here. And if you want to buy something like Rogue Legends DLC or instantly unlock Desperado or get another skin of Adora, then you can do that. Or maybe you're struggling with some of the more harder maps and you need a way to be able to get through them, excluding chimps, then here's double cash mode for you. Although if you are going competitive, then I would say don't anchor yourself on double cash mode. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and yeah, I'm gonna do something about this throat. Maybe swap it out for a new one.